Hi. Hello. What up, YouTube family? It is your girl, Chelsea from Chelsea As of Late here, and welcome back to my channel. I have waited so long to say those words again. Well, first of all, if you're wondering where we are, this is the new closet. Welcome. I am so excited to say we have officially moved into the apartment, y'all. It is a wrap. We live here. We closed on it. We've done all the things, and this is our new home. This is our new setting. I have, of course, caught up the girls over on Instagram and TikTok, but I haven't done a proper YouTube video catch-up, sit down, vlog, anything in half of a year. I believe the last time you and I caught up was June of this year, right before everything went sort of like insane with the apartment. So I thought it would be probably best and easiest to sort of have like a catch up with me, sit down, yap session, 2025 wrapped sort of video to catch you guys up on everything that has been going on in my life, in my apartment buying process, in my year, and yeah, sort of catch you guys up on where I have been for the last 5 months and the process of getting here to where we are. But before we can properly start yapping and catching up, I feel like we need a little beverage, you know, we need a little holiday cocktail because we are in the festive spirit and mood. So let's head on over to my kitchen, more on that soon, and make ourselves a Bacardi coquito. Let's go. Now that we have our coquito in hand, it is time to catch up. So I feel like I've lived 75 lives this year, and it is insane that I sort of made it to the end of the year in one piece, if I'm being 100% real with you guys. This year was filled with some of my highest highs and some of my lowest lows, because buying an apartment by yourself is not for the weak. And that is something I had to learn trial by fire. So the last time you and I saw each other again, it was like maybe end of May. In the vlogs, I believe I was just getting like the approvals from the board to sort of like buy this, but oh my God, that feels like 100 years ago. But it was that moment of like, oh my God, I did it. I'm finally at the finish line. I got board approval. We can move in. We can buy this apartment. But little did I know there was so much still to do when it came to closing on the apartment and renovating the apartment. So let's just go back to June and sort of catch up on where I've been and what I've done for the rest of the year. Cheers. Oh my God, I feel like they make it better every freaking year. It's so good. This comes ready made and it's like perfect, ready to go, but I always add a little cinnamon and a cinnamon stick to sort of like bring out that extra cinnamon holiday festive feel, and it's just the perfect touch. So I did write down a timeline of the last 5 to 6 months because I have horrible memory, and if I don't go through like my phone and my videos, I genuinely forget everything that has happened in my life. So you know those people that are like, I need to take videos to like remember my memories? That's me. That's literally me. Anyway, let me take you back to June. So I moved out of my apartment on June 1st, and it was very emotional, as you can imagine. I loved that apartment so much. I loved my neighborhood. I loved how I decorated it. I loved how cozy and comfortable it felt, which looking back, of course, sometimes you have to sort of shake things up and step out of your comfort zone, and I feel like that is what this year was in a nutshell, like shaking things up, stepping out of my comfort zone. I moved to Brooklyn, and it felt like a new world. Like I had never lived anywhere but Queens in New York, and I, of course, like visited Brooklyn a lot, but I never really like knew what that experience would be like to live here, to immerse myself in a new community and new neighborhoods and new neighbors. Like it's just very different. And I feel like this also opened my eyes to like how different New York City can be if you go from borough to borough, neighborhood to neighborhood. It's truly like moving out of state. Like it's like a whole new world. Obviously it's not. Like we're still in New York. We're still, the essence of New York City is still here. Anywhere you go in New York City, maybe not Staten Island. But yeah, it was a big change. I still hadn't closed on the apartment in June, so I had to move into a sublet. At that point, again, we had the board approval, so I knew the apartment was mine. It was just a matter of like getting all of the lawyers in the same room, signing on the dotted line, handing over the keys to me. Congrats, you have an apartment. But I moved into a sublet that I found. Actually, this might be helpful for some of you out there. It's called, in a website called Listing Projects, where essentially you can find sublets. It's kind of like a Craigslist meets Facebook Marketplace of sorts. Like you can buy things, I think, off of the website as well, but like it's like connecting people, and a lot of people use it for finding like temporary housing, subletting, etc. So somebody I know in this world, this industry, an artist actually recommended me, and literally like weeks before I was supposed to move out. I think I might have mentioned that in a vlog, and I found a place literally 2 blocks away from this apartment where we are now. And I thought it was kismet. I went and visited it. I saw that it was real. I put in the deposit. Mikey, if you're ever seeing this, you were the absolute best. You made what was a very rough transition feel very seamless and easy. And yeah, I got to sort of like immerse myself into the neighborhood of Fort Greene in a sublet. Now, this is where it gets tricky. I was originally supposed to be there only a month and a half, like June 1st to July 12th, I think was like our original agreement. And by that point, I could have sworn we would have closed on the apartment. We were gonna be done renovating the apartment. Like I was gonna be ready to move into this apartment and like live my best life. We're still not done with renovations, and it is December. So let that be a lesson that like sometimes we have our timelines, sometimes we have like these deadlines and these like projects that we're gonna achieve here and there, and this is gonna be done by this, but like life just takes a different turn sometimes, and you just have to learn to roll with it or lose your mind, which I was very close to doing. June marked the beginning of a new era and a new chapter in my life, which was leaving the borough that I called home for literally majority of my life and trying out something new. And I was truly pleasantly surprised that I loved it as much as I did immediately. I also kicked off a partnership with Bacardi shortly after, which was super exciting. I feel like working with Bacardi to me feels like returning to like my family reunion every single year. We've worked together now since 2021. So that's 4 years in a row, and it's my family. Like it's my Bacardi family. It's so comfortable. It's so easy. I love integrating them into every aspect wherever they fit into my life, right? Like whenever I'm hosting, whenever I'm throwing parties, whenever there's like a seasonal cocktail that I want to try and share with you guys. So that was super fun. We did a lunch with the new Bacardi Collective, so the group of creators working with Bacardi this year. Some old faces that we got to reconnect with, some new faces we got to meet. And then we also had a kickoff party, which I don't know if you guys know, Bacardi always throws the best parties. And I'm not saying that because I work with them. I'm genuinely saying that because whenever I bring my friends over to these parties as plus ones or like invite them over, everybody always leaves like, what was that? Like sweaty. We danced all night. We had cocktails. We had fun. Like it's just like a genuine like good time with good people. They always bring the best crowds. And so that was a really fun kickoff to not only the partnership, but also summer. And we got to attend Gov Ball. Y'all, I say this every single year, but Gov Ball was actually my very first festival I ever attended when I was in college. I was a baby. I think I have a picture somewhere I can insert here. I had no idea what music festivals even were. Like I didn't grow up in that environment, so it was a brand new sort of world for me, and it still holds a very special place in my heart. It's my favorite festival in New York. I probably should attend other festivals to truly confirm that, but you know what I mean? Like it's just Gov Ball. Like they bring the best sort of like lineup. It's always a good crowd. It's like our mini Coachella here in New York. So we went with the brand for the weekend, and it was such an amazing experience. I honestly am forever grateful that like I get to do this, but sometimes I'm like, how is this like real life? Like how is this like my job? Like I get to do all of these things that I love and previously did on my own with like new friends and brand experiences and brand connections, and like get to bring you guys along because then we get to film, and like it's just a little crazy when you think about it. And I'm always like, I think I could be doing this job for like another decade, and in that decade I'll still feel this way, like, how is this real life? And lastly, in June, we also got to do a little staycation in the city and check out a really cool hotel that is sort of like recently renovated. Keyword for the year 2025, renovated, renovations. It's called, I'm forgetting the name, but the restaurant downstairs is called The Otter, and it's on Thompson Street in Soho. It'll come back to me. I'll leave it here. But the hotel was really cool. It gave me a lot of design inspo. Very much like mid-century sexy, which is like kind of like what I want to go for in this apartment. Yeah, got to sort of like see the city through new eyes. And I feel like this year was just like me like re-signing my marriage to New York City. You know, like it was like a vow and renewal to the city that I wasn't expecting, but I'm kind of here for all the way. So that was really fun. And then the rest of the month was sort of just like getting comfortable in my new borough. I got to take out a library card and visit the library a few times. I did a lot of biking in the borough in Brooklyn and across the Brooklyn Bridge. Y'all, if you are ever in New York or if you live here and you have the opportunity to bike across the Brooklyn Bridge, I consider myself the luckiest girl in the world that I could just hop on my bike and be there in 5 minutes. Like, it is truly a blessing, and I plan on taking so much advantage of it in the coming seasons. Definitely not now, it's freezing outside. Moving on to July. The biggest event in July was, of course, finally closing on my apartment. And when I say I got there like hanging on to dear life by my last string, like I was truly like, you know, I got to a point where I had already had approval from the board to purchase this property. And it took over a month, literally over a month, for lawyers to find a date that worked for everybody. And I was just in my mind because, again, the sublet was expiring mid-July. Originally, I thankfully got to extend. Had so much work ahead of me in this apartment in terms of construction, renovations, etc. We did a lot. Can't wait to show you guys everything that we did. But yeah, I felt like I was like itching and like losing it a little bit because I needed to get in here, and I knew that even if I'd signed like July 3rd, which is when I did, I couldn't live here right away. Like, I still had like what I thought was a month and a half of renovations ahead. It turned into like 7 months, but that's neither here nor there. So when we finally got a date on the books, which was July 3rd, first of all, I held my breath till the very last minute because I was like, they're lying. They're gonna change it again. Like, this is not gonna happen. They're playing with me and my emotions, but it did come and it did happen. I think that was probably one of the happiest days of my life. Mind you, I was like signing away like my life and mortgage and debt, but like I could never describe that sense of accomplishment. That was, I went through all this struggle. I did it alone. I found it alone. Well, not alone, obviously. My realtor, Melissa, shout out to you. You were the best. She found this place for me. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm a single woman in my 30s living in New York City, and I had to do this completely alone with the help of my friends and family, of course, but like the decisions were up to me. Moving things along were up to me. Like, this was the biggest accomplishment that I've made on my own. And sitting down on that table felt like I can do anything. Like, if I did this, I can do literally anything I set my mind to. I just have to be disciplined and work really hard and keep my eye on the ball, and I can do anything. I told you guys earlier, when I was looking for this apartment, I felt like, oh, I can buy like so many properties now. Like, this is super fun and super easy, and like, I love this. Obviously, things have changed since then. Like, we've gone through actual renovations, and that is a whole different ballgame. But what I'm saying is, like, yeah, that was a day. That was a day, that was a month. That was one of the days where I have felt proudest of myself. It was really, really cool. And my sister and my brother-in-law came with me. I have some content, but you guys know my sister's not the best at capturing it, but I will share wherever I can. Saying this again, I have all of this footage in vlogs. Like, I have all of this filmed, and I will be putting it out. I don't care how long it takes me. I will be sharing the journey with you guys. But yeah, it was a beautiful day. Right before we closed, we got to do the final walkthrough of this apartment, which was really exciting because that's when it started to feel real. And then we started renovations, y'all. The joy was short-lived. I I think anything is possible. It's just the way that I did it that wasn't the best. Why? Because I had such a tight deadline to get everything done and move in here. And if I didn't have that, everything would have been fine. Like, they could have taken however long they wanted with the place. It was that I needed to move expeditiously, and I couldn't until the apartment was fully renovated, or like at least livable. Like, I needed a bathroom, I needed a kitchen, you know, like they could have figured everything else out, and they did. We'll get there. Also, in the middle of this, I started locking in on the design of things. I sort of had a general idea of what I wanted to do with each space, like my bedroom, the closet, the kitchen, the bathroom. But now I had to actually make decisions and buy things like tiles and decide on like floor finishes, like wood stain finishes and things like that. So I also locked in and really started making final decisions on the design of the home and sort of like going to all of these stores, right? Like, I went to, I think, like 4 slab stores to like find my counter slab, which you guys saw in this video. Also, in the month of July, I got my 20th and 21st piercing, y'all. I cannot believe I have 21 ear piercings between these 2 years. It's insane. But my ears became legal officially, and I always do my piercings at the same spot. I'll leave the information below if anyone's interested, but love how my stack is coming along, and truly I think I'm good for a little bit. I'll probably get some in the new year, let's be real, but like for now I'm like chilling. I really like my stack, so that was really cool. And lastly, to wrap up July, we also got to attend Lollapalooza, which was so much fun. I think out of the 3 major festivals that I usually attend, which are Coachella, Gabba, and Lolla is likely my favorite for a multitude of reasons, right? Gabba always has a special place in my heart. It's my favorite in New York. But out of all the majors, Lolla wins because, one, it's in the city. Like, it's inside Chicago. So you can literally walk there, walk home, or walk to your hotel, or walk to your Airbnb. No problem, especially if you stay in the downtown area. But if not, you can take a city bike, you can take a scooter. As long as you're not driving, it's the most convenient of locations. This might be the old age, the, you know, not so great knees in me, but like that comfort to me is invaluable, especially like after a long day of like walking and dancing and drinking and partying and, you know, seeing music, live music, and all you want to do is just like hit the hay. Like, it's so easy to just, okay, let's bounce, we walk, we're there in 15 minutes, boom, boom, bam. Love that. And also, they usually put on a really good lineup. I think after Coachella, it's probably the better one in terms of like who they can bring, who they usually like are able to pull, and the headliners. I have a bone to pick with festivals, and it's that I feel like we're seeing the same talent in the last like few years, like over and over. It's like a recycle, rinse and repeat of like the same 5 headliners. So I'm really excited for next year, seeing new talent up, or like old talent, but you know, like people we haven't seen in a while headline like Coachella with Justin Bieber. So I'm really looking forward to that, and hopefully I get to attend next year. But that was my July. I love Chicago down. Anytime I'm there, I feel like comfortable. I always joke that I have to check out my archaeological map, or I forget the name of it, but it's like an astrology thing where there were certain lines that go across the world when you were born. And in certain, like, when lines cross, wherever that is in the world, that's supposed to be a place where you feel like most yourself, most comfortable. And I think Chicago has to be one of them for me, because anytime I'm there, I'm just like, oh, and we're in our second home now. So that was July. Now moving into August. I would say August was probably the month where I struggled the most, to be completely honest with you guys. That is the month when things were really getting serious in terms of the renovation, and I had a lot of issues with the team, the contractor, the process, the overall work. I still have some issues that need to be fixed. There's still work to be done. They still haven't finished. That deadline, that extension to the sublet that I mentioned earlier, was fast approaching, and after that, there was nowhere else for me to go. Like, I had to leave that woman's apartment and come to my own because she was coming home. I had to dip, and this apartment was nowhere near being done. And on top of it, there were plenty of days where I would come and check in on the progress, and no work, and I mean no work, was being done. Like, there was nobody here. So I started to lose it a little bit. That's when I was like truly struggling. Just felt like really deflated. And like in my mind, it sort of felt like this would never end. Like I was never moving in here. This process was this is gonna be my life now. I don't know how to explain it, but it just like took over me mentally, and I was really, really, really struggling. I'm really lucky that I have great friends, a great support system, and people that were constantly checking in on me, not letting me fully sink, like helping me swim and move forward. So I just focused on like trying to get as much done, pushing the team to get as much done so that I can move here in whatever state the apartment was in September. So that was August. But on a brighter note, I also got to meet Sarah Jessica Parker, which was insane. You guys know Sex and the City and I go together real bad. It's a show that has a special place in my heart, and therefore the character Carrie has a special place in my heart, and therefore the actor Sarah Jessica Parker has a special place in my heart. And I had never gotten to meet her. I had seen plenty of events where she was either hosting or attending, and I just never happened to be in that same room until the summer. There was a really cool brand activation where she was leading a chat as the last season of And Just Like That came to a close, and I was invited to sort of like have lunch and listen to her speak. I got to talk to her for a few minutes. I told her how much the character in the show means to me and how grateful I was for her portrayal of that character, how much the character style has influenced me. And it was really, really special. That was a really high note of August. Oh, and also I went to the US Open, which was really, really fun. Another thing I say every year, and I probably will continue to say it every single year, the US Open was actually my first job, which is so crazy. I worked there as like a merch associate in like one of their merch stores right outside of Arthur Ashe. It feels like a full circle moment anytime I get to go back for work now with a brand or an activation. Yeah, I got to go twice and it was so much fun, and I'm so grateful for the brands that brought me. It was a lovely time. I also got to sit courtside for the first time, and that was insane. Like they're super close to you. You're seeing like the action right there. So that was super cool. And that was our August. Now for September. September is the month when we officially moved in, y'all. I'm more excited about it now than I was then, because at the moment, all I had was a room that was finished and a bathroom. I didn't have a kitchen. I literally had like gallons of water in my room that I would just like refill whenever I needed water. I obviously was like ordering out or eating out. That's it. That's all I had. I had a bathroom and a bedroom. I lived like that for like the better part of the month of September. They slowly were finishing the walls, like skim coating, sanding, painting, the kitchen, all the major finishing touches, all the doors that I didn't have, like building this closet that happened in September. All of that was happening while I lived here, which was a challenge, of course. Like I had to like lock myself in my room almost every day and just like block out the dust that came from sanding the walls, and also try to work while that was going on. It was crazy, and I don't wish it upon my worst enemy. I will never be doing that again. If I can help it, I will never be living through renovations ever again in my life. But that's kind of how the cookie crumbled, and that's how I had to do it, because as I mentioned before, sublet ended, I had to move in here, and that is just the state of the apartment at the time. So I moved in. I will say that first day waking up here, the first day falling asleep here and the first day waking up here were like magical. Like I couldn't believe my eyes. When I woke up, I'm like, oh my God, I'm here. Mind you, I was sleeping in like an air mattress because my things were still in storage, like all my belongings, my bed, my mattress, everything. And I was so like the happiest kid on earth. Like I was just like, oh my God, like I woke up in my apartment. That's insane. So that was really, really, really special, even if it wasn't as I pictured it, which is another lesson. Like sometimes the biggest blessings will arrive in a way that you didn't picture or you didn't expect, but it doesn't take away how magical and special they are. Some of the other highlights of the month were, one, we got to attend the VMAs with Bacardi, third year doing so, and so much fun. I think the highlight were like Sabrina Carpenter, she killed it, and also Tate McRae, I think that's how you say her name, ate it up. Like that was an insane performance. I'm not a huge fan of her music, but like that was really, really cool. And of course, hanging out with the Bacardi fam is always a time, always a treat. So I'm really grateful for that experience. Again, I was literally getting ready in like a dusty apartment and just like hoping I looked put together, but I had a blast nonetheless. And I also went on a quick work trip to Germany, which was really, really cool. I was there for like 3 days and I loved it. First time in Munich, loved it, want to go back. Then, end of September and moving into October, we attended Paris Fashion Week. This is my second year attending the September Paris Fashion Week. I went with Amy and her husband this time. We call him our third wheel because, let's be real, he is. And we had a blast. It was a really perfect mix of like a chill, decompress trip because it's a city we know at this point kind of like really well. We go there at least like once a year since like 2023. And also like fun fashion things, like fun fashion events, runway shows, like gifting suites, like the best time, honestly. Went for long enough where like we got to do nothing on certain days. Like we got to like walk around, no makeup, casual clothes, just like chilling, going to eat, like going to a museum, like really, really, really great balanced trip. And I am actually going back to Paris again this year. This is gonna be my third time going this year. But we decided to book a last minute between Christmas and New Year trip, so we will be there once more in a couple of days. Then coming back home after Paris Fashion Week was the first time I ever got to truly just like relax in my apartment and just like not have construction crews here every day, sanding things, inhaling dust. I genuinely have to go check out my lungs because I inhaled so much dust in the months of like August and September that I truly need to see if I'm okay. But October was like the first time I got to like relax, enjoy, wake up, have a routine again, like make coffee, make breakfast, go to the gym, come back, shower, normal things. And it was really, really nice. It was like getting my groove back a little bit, which I loved. I also attended a Sabrina Carpenter concert, which was so much fun. The girl can put on a show, let me tell you. If you have the opportunity to go to a Sabrina Carpenter show, please do, because she is a performer. The girl is a performer. She is a pop star, darling. We also got to celebrate Halloween with my family. We went as the Louvre robbers, which was really, it was unexpected for a lot of people, which I thought it wouldn't be. Like it was such a huge pop culture moment in the fall, but a lot of people didn't really get the costume right away until we held up our bags, which had like, you know, Louvre goods or whatever. Like it was funny like explaining it to people, but once people got it, they were obsessed. Like they couldn't get enough. So many people wanted to take pictures and it was really cool. Me, my sister, and my brother-in-law went as the robbers, and then we bejeweled Sienna, my niece, as like the crown jewel that we stole from the Louvre. So that was super fun. And that was October. And then lastly, November. November was another really chill month. I feel like I needed decompression for a minute because so much of this year was spent on like fight or flight and just like my nerves were fried. So in November, I took a really lovely staycation in the city and got to just like have like a me day with Amy, actually, like a very like girls relaxing day. We got facials, we got massages, we got our nails done, we like went into like a sauna. Like it was just like really peaceful and like we got to breathe again. So that was in November. I also got a couch in November, which is so exciting. I had been living without a couch since I left my apartment back in June. So having a couch and a TV was like revolutionary. I was like, oh my God, I can like sit here and watch shows again, like at the end of the day. This is nice. We also got to celebrate my agency's holiday party early because my manager Ariel was pregnant and about to pop any second. So we had a little Friendsgiving holiday celebration with the agency, and I'm so, so grateful to get to celebrate not only with them, but them. Without my team, y'all, I would not have survived this year. It's that simple. Like throughout all of this that I'm telling you of like the apartment madness, which by the way started in January when my old landlord told me I had to dip, I was working. I was fully working. It's been my highest grossing year yet, and I don't know how I did it. Like I think I like blacked out, woke up, and I was like, oh right, like I worked this year. I got through it. Like I'm still here. Like insanity, I tell you. Yeah, they were my rock. They still are my rock because I'm still, you know, creating, and I'm just so, so grateful for them and so grateful that we got to celebrate the end of the year together. Some other things that happened, you might have noticed the last time you saw me on the vlog, I had braids. I finally took them off. Y'all, I spent literally from April to November in braids. Sure did. I did not want to deal with the hair. I did not want to see the hair. I did not want to like style the hair. I did not want to know that I had curls. That's to the point, because if you don't know, having curls is a major maintenance situation. Like, you have to upkeep. And so with everything going on, I was like, every time I took them off, I put them right back on. So in November, I finally took them off for good, which was another like signaling of like, ah, you made it, you've arrived, you can have your curls back. And I got a curly cut, and I love how it came out. It's like back now because I didn't style it this week. I'm just putting it in a hair mask and like putting it back for ease and comfort. But yeah, came out really, really good. The curls look really good, and I'm so happy they're back. And finally, I celebrated Thanksgiving with my family, and then hopped on a quick flight to the Dominican Republic for a week, and now I'm back. So that is the year, y'all. Cheers to that. Cheers to making it, y'all, because it was really touch and go there for a second. For the rest of the year and how I'm celebrating the holidays, I feel like this year is just kind of a different year. At this point, I would have had Christmas decorations up and, you know, been fully in the holiday spirit, doing all the holiday activities in the city. But because so much of my year was like go, 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 I've kind of just like been in like a chill work and just chill mood. I haven't been saying yes to a lot of things in terms of like functions or events. And so I'm excited from this point forward, from now till the end of the year, to just like enjoy. Just enjoy. I am going to be hosting Christmas Eve, so you know this coquito is about to be out again. And then I am hopping on that quick trip to Paris to just indulge, enjoy, shop. I'll probably vlog that. We're back to vlogging, y'all. I'm so excited. And then ring in a new year and start over again and start fresh. I'm so excited. I'm so looking forward to 2026. I cannot tell you guys. Anyway, if you like me enjoy a little beveragino throughout the holiday season, especially coquito, this is a must. Please pick up a bottle, check it out, let me know what you think. I think it's so easy. Love making coquito from scratch, but sometimes you just want it to be ready and just serve it and just have a good time. So love my Bacardi fan for this. And yeah, cheers. I will, like I said, I will be putting out all of the content that I created throughout this year. The process of buying the apartment, the process of renovating the apartment, the process of moving in here, all the processes will be posted. Do not fret. And then we are still in the process of renovating. So that's not done. And when that's done, you guys will be the first to see it all. So cheers to us. So lovely catching up with you girls. I have missed you terribly, and I cannot wait to be back on your screens weekly again. Love you guys. Bye.